all the Moors. Welcome. This is Pisces. Okay, we're going to begin Pisces. Our textbook, if you're new, is the Gospel and the Zodiac, the secret truth about JC, the Christ figure. This is written by the Reverend Bill Darrell-El. All right. So why is there anything about JC that's a secret? Watch all of the videos that I've done from this free online course on this topic. Okay, watch all of the videos that I've done. I don't know how many there are, but there are a bunch. Okay, it's a bunch of them. So watch them and you'll learn all the secrets. Okay, and there's some really hot, big and juicy secrets too. And by the way, if you're not familiar with this information, can you really say that you know the Gospels? It has nothing to do with what you believe or accept to be true. But if you don't know about a topic, can you really say that you know the topic? Right? If you don't know all the details, it's not about what you agree with or what you believe. It's, do you know the topic? Okay? Do you know the topic? So if you don't know this topic, stay here, get a free education. I'm going to give you the access to and benefit of my decades, that's plural with an S, of formal and informal education across many different fields. Okay, I'm not just a one subject guy or a one field guy. Okay, I'm educated across many fields, multiple fields. All right, beyond the bachelor degree level, way beyond that. Okay, so you get access to that. Free benefit of. Okay, so stick around. Stick around, and I've been told that I'm a very good teacher. Okay, so you're going to learn a lot here, most likely. Okay, but of course it all depends on you, how much you study, how seriously you take this. All right, because it's, with anything, the amount of energy and effort you put into it equals the benefit that you get from it. All right? So let's begin. We're on page 204. No, 204. 204, y'all. Mark chapter 14, 17. Mark chapter 14, verse 17. Through chapters, oh, that's weird. Oh, no. Mark chapter 14, verse 17, through chapter 16, verse 8. All right? Okay, so the section of Mark's Gospel that deals with Pisces is chapter 14, beginning at verse 17 and ending with chapter 16, verse 8. Okay, so let's take a look at the illustration. Y'all take a look at that. If you watch this on the replay, just pause the video and study it. I'm letting it stay up long enough for the camera to focus. All right, so here is the shaded part here is the glyph that represents Pisces, right where my finger is, the shaded part. Okay, so y'all can pause the video. All right. The images are always worth studying, so you should have seen two fish. Uh-oh. So you see two fish, right? two fish. Pisces. Okay, in Asia, y'all, in Asia, fish mean good luck. Some people have on their property a tank, like a big tank, and they'll have a huge fish in it. They pay 10,000 US dollars for those big fish because they're considered lucky here. So if y'all go through my my videos, you'll see me at many coffee shops around Vietnam, and a lot of them, they have like ponds in them, and they have fish. You know those big goldfish? I don't know what you call them. They're yellow, orange, white and orange, you know, some combination of those colors, and they're swimming everywhere. Fish are lucky in Asia. Okay? So let's begin. It says Pisces, Mark 14:17 through 16:8. The end and the beginning. Pisces is the end and the beginning. So the end and beginning of what? Okay, so we have a quote by Goethe. As long as you do not know how to die and come to life again, you are but a sorry traveler on this dark earth. Y'all know what's weird? As I read that, I think I may have done this video before, but I checked last night, but I didn't see any of my Pisces videos. I didn't see any Pisces videos, rather. But I thought that I did these videos, Pisces, but I couldn't find them. But anyway, I'll do these videos again. I didn't see them. In fact, if anyone has watched Pisces videos that I've done, can y'all let me know from this book? I checked my channel, I didn't see them. So I don't know if I did the videos or not. Anyway, let's go. So Pisces and Jupiter. That's our first subheading, Pisces and Jupiter. With Pisces, we come to an end of our zodiacal walk. The sun, that's the S-U-N, which began its journey through the heavens at the equinoctial points. Let me repeat that. The sun, which began its journey through the heavens at the vernal equinox. Now remember, scholars, in ancient times, what I've been reading is that the beginning of the year, or the beginning of the zodiac sign, rather, let me put it like that. The first zodiac sign was Virgo. The first zodiac sign was Virgo. And then it became, later, it was changed to Aries. That being the case, if that's true, I need to research it further. You need to research it further. Okay, or we need to research this and figure out if that's true. Because if that is the first zodiac sign of our ancient ancestors, it means that our year actually begins in Virgo. Okay? And not in the spring. Well, let me not say that, because I don't know what season. Virgo right now is associated with the fall, right? She has a corn in her hand. But I can see why that would be so, because, for example, when the House of Yasharala was led into the Promised Land, they didn't have to do any work for it. Everything was built. All the farms were there. The houses were there. The buildings were there. They didn't have to do any work. So they entered into the Promised Land. Everything was set up. Okay, so that's equivalent to a covenant of grace, right? You begin the year in the covenant of grace. Harvest is there. Boom, you begin the year, the harvest is there. The climax is there. Boom, whatever you want, right? All you need to do is go collect it. All right? So I can see the rationale for that, but we need to work this out. Not just DrYasapa, okay? But everyone. Your conclusion might be different than mine. Your research might yield something different than mine. Okay? And I'll share what I have with you, and you should share what you have with me. Okay? So let's continue. The sun, which began its journey through the heavens at the vernal equinox, now enters its final 30-day phase before it re-enters Aries, and the whole cycle begins once more. Now, the vernal equinox, that's the covenant of work. All right, the covenant of labor, the covenant of work. Okay, so you're beginning the year having to work. If you look at it that way, you have to do some labor. Now, of course, that's only considering the covenant, both of the covenants, the covenant of grace, the fall equinox, the covenant of work or labor, the vernal or spring equinox, right? But then there's also the seasons. Okay, so there's spring, new life, or life is being regenerated. You can equate that to birth, all right? But if you equate that to birth, then that puts you in the frame of mind where things have a beginning. And that is factually incorrect. If you look at this at the beginning of the year as everything being set out for you in superabundance, the harvest is there. Everything you need has been prepared for you. When you walked in the door, everything's set up. That's the actual reality. Okay? Why? Because there is no such thing as a beginning. You can never get something from nothing. You can only get something from something. Therefore, everything has always been here. It's always been here. Maybe that's difficult for some people to comprehend or appreciate. All right? But marinate on that. It's always been here. All you need to do is take yours. It's sitting right there for you. Go take it. Okay? In fact, take as much as you want. No need to fight over it. No need to be territorial over it. The harvest is everywhere. Y'all see it? Just like our ancestors walked into the Promised Land, everything was set up. DSM 515. Shalom, Shalawama, DSM 515. Pleasure to have you here. So we can look at it in terms of the covenants of grace and labor, and also the season. The season. Now, it's my position that we need to change the zodiacs. We need to correct them. Let me put it that way. We need to correct them. Because the cosmic energy has been directed into our oppressor's paradigm. Okay? And that paradigm, or let's say individually, those paradigms have been energized, however that works, have been energized, all right, through the capturing, harnessing, and focusing, directing cosmic energy. Okay? So we need to correct these with our own stories that our ancient foremothers and forefathers used, and with the glyphs that they used, and with the illustrations that they used. Okay? No matter how they've been vilified and demonized, and they've made people afraid of them. Okay? Why did they do that? So that we would not want anything to do with it. But that's where our power comes from, right? Isn't that what we're told? Follow the ancient ways, the lifestyles, heritage, culture, heritage of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. Follow the Most High's commandments, which are what? That's right. You have it correct. It is natural law. Natural law. Okay? Sacred, geometric images. Nothing demonic about it. You've just been scared, psyched out, terrified through stories that's meant to detach you from nature and detach you from your own culture and heritage. Okay? And that's been replaced with a toxic heritage. You know, it's always shocking to me to see grown men in North America involved in hip hop culture. I'm talking about wearing the baseball hat, dressing like they're a teenager or 21. That's always, I'm baffled by that, but that's a mindset. See, a man is one thing at 15 and 17, his mentality, right? He dresses in a way that reflects his mentality. As you become more mature, your outward appearance should become more mature, reflecting your mentality. So when you see an older man, or even a woman, somebody, let's say, past 30, dressing like they're hip-hop, talking hip-hop lingo. And I'm not familiar with all of this stuff, y'all. I've been out of North America for a very, very long time. I just know what I see on YouTube, okay, or Facebook. Okay, so it says that person is still in the child state of mind, whether they like that or not. Because only a man with a child state of mind will wear the clothes of a child. That's like you go out and you see a 25-year-old wearing children's Superman or Spider-Man pajamas. Okay? But why is that? One is the state of mind, but then it's the lack of culture. And not only that, but forcing the hip-hop culture on the people. Forcing, why do I say forcing? Because you really don't have any alternative. Most of our people watch TV every day. or YouTube, and y'all focus on music and entertainment, that's the biggest part of many people's lives, entertainment. So they're hitting you with toxic hip-hop culture and images. And y'all don't realize that you have degressed as a people, even from the 1960s and 70s, even from the 1980s, you have degressed. And people who are outside of that culture surely look down on you. I'm just telling you like it is, whether you like it or not. I'm telling you the truth. Adults dressing and speaking like children, teenagers. Why? Because you accept that culture. Properly, or the proper action would be to return to following the culture and heritage of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Get your dignity back. See, you can express yourself. What's a greater expression than to be who you are naturally? To show up speaking dignified, looking dignified, even magnificent, splendid, like your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Even if you want, use the imagery that they used. Okay? So we must learn our own culture and return to it. And stop letting these people make fools of us. Y'all know they're puppet masters, right? They're puppet masters. Whatever they want you to believe, to think and do, they're going to get somebody to go out and create a rap song or hip-hop song and video and push it until you start to like it. And therefore they're controlling you, and you think that you're making your own decisions. No, they're programming you. Just like a computer coding guy sits back and writes code, puts it in the computer, and the computer runs the app. They go get a hip-hop guy, hip-hop artist, have him make a song, make a video. It can be good or bad. And then they just play it over and over and over. They get all their minions to start talking about the video. They start inviting people, whoever the artists were. You can't even call them artists. The people who made the hip-hop song, they invite them on. Give them all kind of visibility on TV, on YouTube. Push it, push it, push it, push it. And they know that y'all going to accept it. And all of a sudden, it becomes a hit and a trend. And you think it's because you like it. No, it's because you've been played by your puppet master, or in other words, by your deities. All right, y'all? By your deities. I'm just keeping it real with you. Okay? That's why they call, so Tyrika Style says you're absolutely correct. Islam and Shalom. Takirika? I'm not sure if I didn't pronounce your appellation correctly. Please forgive me. Yes, and so we need to do something about this, okay? But everything begins, y'all know the most difficult, y'all know the business opportunity that is the worst. Even if it's a great idea and you've got customers and they're buying. Oh, okay, excellent, thank you. Thank you, Takirika, I appreciate that. The business that should be avoided, even if you got customers and they're buying, that's the business where you We have to come out of Babylon. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And to replace that spiritual Babylon, or that mythological Babylon that we read about, is with our own cultural heritage. That's been preserved for us, but it's been demonized and also hidden. So we only need to break the psychological bond, which is what my presentation and my work is all about. That's what I'm here for. To give you the information in a way that's understandable. With my only value in the mix is my analysis. That's it. But everybody who sees and hears these presentations, y'all got to make it do what it do on your own. Okay? But the worst business, going back to that, that's a business where you have to educate customers. The business where you have to educate customers, that's the worst one. Most investors will run away from that, no matter how great it seems, and no matter how many customers you have. In order for you to really hit, you need to spend a lot of money. Let me replace that. A lot of fiat on marketing and advertising. To do what? To educate the people. And that almost always is an investment that savvy investors will let somebody else pay for. And then they come up, like Biggie said, after he buy the wine, he swoop up from behind. Yeah. Savvy investors will let other people pay for the educational cost, because it's just too much work, and it's highly unlikely that you'll succeed. But here we are. But here we are having to educate our people. We have to educate our people, knowing that they have been trained to only want entertainment. Okay? To only want entertainment. And now, YouTube, for example, is pushing shorts. Y'all know what the agenda is behind these YouTube shorts? That's to condition you to have a very short attention span. Now, once they get you to the point where your attention span is very low, guess what? You're crippled. Because if you need to read a book, or if you need to focus and or concentrate, you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to do it. You'll say you're bored, or your mind will start going other places. Do you see how they're giving something as entertainment, but it's actually a toxic intent behind it? And let you destroy yourself. Okay? Some people are not even able to watch a 30-minute video. How can they sit down and study from a dictionary or study from an encyclopedia? That's why I push myself to read physical books instead of online. We have to resist conditioning of all kinds. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, because we always need to remember that these people are oppressors. They are foreigners. They are hybrids. Hybrid, troglodyte, Paleolithic niggers, colonists, terrorists. Half man, half monkey. Specifically chimpanzee, the black one. This is the Han-Uman. Hinted at in the Wizard of Oz. Remember the flying monkeys, y'all? That the evil witch controlled? Well, they had to have some type of intelligence, right? For her to be able to communicate with them. All right? These are people who are object-oriented, not relationship-oriented, object-oriented. Okay, in other words, the object, the thing, is most important to them, not relationships. Things. Things. So just like chimpanzees in the forest. Things. A banana. A tree. Okay? And they will fight to the death. They'll take something from someone. See, they are not honorable. It's not in their nature. Okay, so for us to not be conscious of that, that's like, you know, you're sleeping in the same room with a rattlesnake, and you expect the rattlesnake not to bite you. That's why no one has compassion on a snake charmer. Okay, well, you know the snake is poisonous, unpredictable, and it can bite you at any time, but yet you're still going to sit here and charm it, talk with it, you know, and play with it, you know what they do. Okay, well, you brought that on yourself. That's so we need to keep them in their proper status. Human being, Han-Uman, colorable man, the symbolicum of a man, but not the substance. Genesis chapter 1, the created creature. In contradistinction to man and woman, autochthonous to the soil, Genesis chapter 2, the rightful heir of all land, energy, and resources, both from the earth and cosmically. It's ours by birthright. Take off the birth and you get right. Okay? So our rights come from birth, having been sprung from the soil. So we are the soil. We're part of the cosmos. Any and everything is made from the soil. Therefore, it's ours. It's part of us, if you can get your brain around that. However, the hybrids, these are genetically engineered, created creatures. They have no right to inherit land. Therefore, our ancestors gave them human rights. We have what? Natural rights. They have human rights that our ancestors gave them. Or, let me rephrase that. Or so it appears. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't give them human rights. All right? Now, because they could have very well just put that in the history. And I think I've made clear to y'all that the state sovereignty for the foreigner at the state level in the Constitution, the organic Constitution, it appears to me, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just reasoning, right? See, I don't see why our ancestors would give a hybrid sovereignty. Now, those Moors who came over here from Europe escaping, or those who came over through the, what is it called? The Trans-Pacific slave trade, and they escaped, right? They came up from Mexico, maybe into North America. I can see us giving them, or our ancestors giving them sovereignty, because they're autochthonous Moors. But a hybrid, I cannot see that. I cannot see it. One, because of the consciousness. Two, because it's a violation of natural law. It's a violation of natural law. Anyway, we didn't get far, and I gotta go to the wake job. I'll be back in a couple hours. My apologies for going off on a tangent. We'll get this in about 3 hours. All right, I'll be back in about 3 hours. Shalom and Islam. If you feel it in your heart to support my project, I'm DrYasapa from Zion Law School. To write the book of the law in Ancient Ibaryath, the original language that it was spoken and written in. To write it in the Ancient Ibaryath, let's see, have a good evening, good night. Thanks, I'm in Vietnam. Taki Rika, I'm in Vietnam, so it's about 7:05 in the morning, a.m. So I'm on the other side of the world. But I do appreciate that. So when I finish up here, which will be at about, well, just a couple hours, I'm gonna come back and do a video, a presentation on Pisces. So if y'all feel it in your heart to support the project, if you see the need for us to have our own book of the law, then the link to the Cash App and PayPal are in the description area of the video. DrYasapa, yes. Cash App is $DrYasapa. PayPal is paypal.me/Zion Law School. Okay? And I have many books that I've written on ancient Ibaryath, from beginners all the way to advanced level. So y'all can support if you rather do it that way. And it's not supporting me. This is for your own education, right? But in doing so, you support me, which helps me to keep this going. See, it's one thing to do presentations and to teach. It's another thing to do it when you know that people are actually interested, and interested enough to take some type of action. Like in Asia, they make a distinction between a man who says he likes a woman and a man who puts out effort to show that he wants the woman. Okay? So in other words, talk is cheap. But anyway, it makes everything better for you and for me when we exchange our energy and information. So I'm babbling on right now. I need to go. I got to be somewhere. But yes, usually I start the presentations at 6 a.m. in the morning, between 6 a.m. and 7:15, depending on if I'm on time or not, my time. So for you, if you're in North America, on the East Coast, that's going to be somewhere around between, depending on the time of the year, it'll either be a 12-hour difference or a 13-hour difference. Shalom and Islam Moors.